That Travis Kelce one with Saquon jumping over him.
Yeah, I said, look, the disrespect.
I thought that shit was fucking hilarious. I know Karina didn't get it.
I didn't even get it. He tried to like send it to me, and I was like, "Is it just because he's jumping over him? I don't know what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
What's supposed to be funny here? Like,
what was funny and resonated though was that Adam Schefter was announcing that Olivia had been signed by the Dallas Cowboys as their starting kicker.
He got to make a lot of fun announcements this week.
Yeah.
Got to announce Travis and Taylor getting engaged, and then announce Olivia getting drafted to the Cowboys.
Look, I'm not that proud to admit that it took me probably about an hour and a half to make that shit, because for some reason colors weren't aligning the way they were supposed to.
And then after all that time and effort and that beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous idea, didn't even watermark it.
It's okay. I posted it literally everywhere. I posted it on Reddit, on Twitter, on Facebook.
It's ours, guys.
Did you send it to Danny?
No, but we should have. Now that you say that, I'm gonna go tag him in the fucking comments.
Yeah. Well, actually, he's probably a little bit salty after what they did this week.
What'd they do?
They got rid of like one of the generational defensive players in the NFL.
Oh, they got rid of Parsons?
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah.
Think of it this way. There's like 5 guys on each side of the ball every year that are like heads and tails above everybody else. Like they're Hall of Famers guaranteed, and he's one of them. And they traded him away.
I will show you conversations that Danny and I personally had about Parsons last season, or 2 seasons ago, I think it was.
I remember seeing you having conversations with Danny about something.
It was about Parsons and about how amazing he is, and how he's just one in a lifetime opportunity to be defensive player, and then getting hurt. But dude, he's still going to be a perennial powerhouse on.
Nice.
So what basically happened is there's this guy Micah I know, right, and he had always dreamt of being with this like superstar singer that was beautiful.
Okay.
And she's from Dallas.
Okay.
And he finally got old enough, and he was really good at singing too.
Okay.
And he ended up meeting her, and they got together.
Ooh.
And they spent like 4 years together. And he was like, I want to take this to the next level. I want to commit to each other like long term.
Yeah. Like an engagement or something.
Yeah. Oh. And she was like, look, I'm not quite at where I want to be at in my career yet. Let's wait like another year, maybe 2, and then let's try it. So he waited like a whole nother year and went above and beyond to show how committed he was. And she still wasn't ready. It was still the same excuse. So he packed up and moved to Green Bay. And now he's going to play there.
Oh, wait. So hold on. Hold on a second. Hold the phone. Wait a minute now.
That is what yeah.
It was that. Okay.
So that was the Michaela Parsons trade in T.
I was locked in. I was ready for the fucking drama.
Bravo, Rick. Bravo. I'm just sitting here watching it, and I'm like,
let me put it to you this way. Like, he is like, of all the men you could pick from the challenge, he's CT.
Okay. All right.
Of all the actors, he's Edward Norton for you, like late 90s. Okay. For me, it would be like Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
You get where I'm coming from? Like
top tier.
Hall of Fame.
Super desirable.
Exactly.
Got it.
Like there's maybe 3 other guys that do a similar position that he does that is just as good.
I can't believe I fell right into that. I literally thought we had moved on to a different topic. I was just like going with the story. I was like, oh, Micah, you've never talked about him before in the 10 years we've been together, but sure. Yeah. I want to know what's
locked in.
Oh, dear God. That was great. Okay,
I know I'm going to tell her about everything that happens this year in the NFL.
Well, you're like Micah, and he's in love with a singer, and like all this thing. And so I'm, in my head, I'm like, okay, so like just another, like an alternate Travis. Okay, all right. So we got another Travis Kelce and Taylor love story. Wait, this doesn't sound like a love story. This sounds like she's a.
So. B is the Dallas Cowboys and their owner, Jerry Jones.
Got it.
Micah Parsons is a perennial Pro Bowl, all-pro NFL linebacker.
So they just play with his emotions.
He said, I want to make this money. I want you to commit long-term.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we'll do it. But like in 2 years, a handshake deal.
Right. And then they just, okay.
A year later, hey, are we going to do this? Well, we're not ready to do it yet. Well, if you aren't ready to do it, I want to get traded.
Yeah, I'm done waiting. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Wow. All righty.
Like I could tell you the Falcons one, like the whole drama that's led up to this year, but I don't know if like the audience wants to hear me try to break this down.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think we're probably pushing their patience on the intro here, but that was very interesting. Thank you for breaking it down that way for me and all the other. Like I follow football, but I don't follow like the players. Like I understand the game,
business aspect.
But I don't follow the behind the scene like that stuff. Contracts and trades and I just hear like, oh, so and so got traded, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, but I have no idea why. I don't know how. You know what I mean? So. That was very interesting. I very much enjoyed that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Later, I'll tell you about this guy named Kirk, who was always looked down upon and always thought of as not as good as he really was. And then went out and proved it and then got screwed over in the end.
Oh, that sounds sad. That sounds like a sad
Girls just
story.
ripped the heart out, bit it, threw it on the ground.
Poor guy.
Hey, welcome to the Challenge Fandom podcast. We've got myself, Ricky Hayes, my beautiful wife, Karina Hayes, and we've got none other than Josh motherfucking Chambers, sling and all. Let's go.
It's an OG night. I just realized it is an OG night.
It is.
Holy
this is
shit.
how we started the podcast.
Yeah, for all our newer listeners, this is how the podcast started. Just us three bullshitting with 2.5 to 3 hour episodes.
With 2 mics.
Yep. Rick and I had one mic in the middle and we'd have to lean in like that to talk into it. And then, obviously Josh had his, but
we literally recorded from the kitchen table.
Yep.
And I was on my iPhone.
Yeah.
Wow.
From your backyard.
Holy shit, guys.
That.
Yes. From the backyard. Yep. Yeah. Man, we've come a long freaking way. Holy shit.
Now look at us with lights and shit. Wild.
That's crazy.
Anyways, hey, we're here to break down episode 5 of season 41 of Bets and New Threats. And this episode's called Pride Comes Before the Fall. Yes. Interesting.
As quoted by Michaela. This was a confessional quote this week. I was curious where the quote came from.
Can I say something real quick about this?
Yeah.
I feel like over the last few seasons, we would get maybe like 1 to 2 episodes in a row that were good. Like solid good episodes, and then it'd be like, oh fuck, a filler episode.
Yes.
This one doesn't feel that way so far in the beginning. It feels like every episode has, substance behind it and is delivering on what we're looking for, and it's evolving the gameplay as we see it. I just feel like as much shit as we've given production over the years, this is actually a well-produced and well-put-together season. Thus far.
Yeah, I actually have to agree with you on that. And what I'm actually really enjoying about these episodes, and, obviously with a little bit of, I'm saying this with a little bit of fluidity here, right? But every episode is different, right? Like last week was very much, we were very much talking about the physical aspect of the game, the absolute domination of an elimination that Bananas had to endure. The daily that was, insane. So it very much a more physical thing. Whereas like this episode that we're going to be jumping into, this episode was so politically heavy. So I just think that that's making it fun. Is it's not like every episode is the same, thing. Like sometimes, and even the scenes that we're getting, like sometimes we'll get a post club house scene. Sometimes we won't. Sometimes they're throwing in little bus scenes here and there.
Love those.
Love it, because we haven't gotten bus scenes in so long. But it just feels like every episode so far has had like a little bit something that the episode before it didn't really have. And so, yeah, major shout out to production, massive shout out to the cast, because they're like, there's a few people, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later in the episode, but there are a few people who seem to be pretty non-existent in the season, like when they're just around the house, having conversations and socializing, politicking, etc. But for the most part, like we're seeing a little bit of everybody. Yeah. So like everybody came to play this season. There's nobody there that's really just there on vacation. Like I said, with a few exceptions, there are a few exceptions. There always is. Right?
Always is. Yeah.
But I'm just saying like and I think what a big part of that is there's not just one massive alliance running the entire house. I know we have the huge UK alliance, but the other side of the house is formidable as well, and is counteracting what they're doing over here. So it's keeping the game feel very balanced, and not like, when the Vacation Alliance is in there with all fucking 7 members and they just run the house, which is great because we love Tori and we love Devin, but it's not really fun to watch. So anyway, that's my spiel.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But no, I agree. I'm really enjoying the vibe and the flow of these episodes at the beginning of the season.
I was just 100% going to agree. I mean, we've been complaining in the past about episodes and being slow and not bringing it. And every single episode so far has delivered in one aspect or another. And like I said, this one's very heavy political, but I mean, it still brings it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but it's good political. It's not the same political we've seen every season for the last 6 seasons. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's my theme is it's a real change of pace. On top of that, it's like it's clear who the top player in the house who's kind of making the most moves is Olivia. But if you were to like look at it and say, okay, these guys in a final, who wins? I don't know. It's hard for me to even choose who's going to make the final.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even on the vet side, you want to say, oh, Turbo, CT, Leroy, Theo, right? But it could easily be somebody else. Like, I could easily see a rookie making it. I could easily see Derrick K making it.
It's kind of like we talked about last week when we were like, oh, who's your favorite new threat so far? And it was like, we were like, oh, this person and this person and this person and that person. And and what about Gabe? And, just so it's like there's so many people that are like easy to root for that it's like I'm kind of at the point this season where I don't even like care. Not that I don't care, but like I don't really care who makes it to the final and wins, because I feel like it's just going to be interesting to watch it any way that it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's not one person on this season outside of maybe 1, maybe 2 people that I'm like, I'm good if they don't come back.
Right.
Like everybody else, I would be like, I really want to see them back. Yeah. Even people that were eliminated early, like Blue. I want to see Blue come back.
Would love to see Blue on TV.
Real quick, jumping into the episode, this bus scene, I actually really liked it, where they're all like, well, we learned not to call Gabe out.
Right.
Yeah. And, it's kind of, I think we said it last week actually, I don't think we said it last week. What we did say it the first week. When who took out Rogan? I can't remember. Was it Will?
No, Rogan was taken out by Justin.
Justin. Mm-hmm.
The cheerleader.
Anyway, I can't remember who we were talking about, but we had been talking about, is he big or is he good, right? Is it popcorn muscles or real muscles kind of thing? And I think that was a great showing for Gabe because Gabe could be one of those people who, could be like a, I'm drawing
Gabo.
a blank now with the name. Like a Gabo, right? Looks very strong, cannot perform, popcorn muscles, gasses out super quick. So I could only imagine like watching that and thinking like, Gabe would, rookie, no big deal, whatever. And then watching him take out like one of the most formidable players in the game.
Former rugby player.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. It's to quote the challenge, Johnny Bananas. He said, look at Josh. And Josh is a good example of this is, look, we get that you can bench 245 and do multiple reps and that you can squat 375 and you can do all these Olympic lifts.
Right.
But maybe do some core and agility training.
Yeah, conditioning and endurance, and endurance is such
speed and agility. Yeah. Like there is exercises for that. Get you ready.
To be honest, the speed part is what really got me because a lot of people, if you're a bigger guy Gabe, could potentially sacrifice speed for that size. But he's got both. Like he is fast as fuck, boy.
A majority of rugby and NFL players and certain basketball players are exceptions to the rule that they will be 6'3" plus all the way up to 7 feet. And they can move faster than anyone you've ever seen.
Yeah, but that's like NFL and basketball. I'm saying just like regular everyday people. You know what I mean? Most people don't know how to keep those things in balance.
But Gabe is a professional wrestler and is a professional rugby player is what I'm saying.
I know, but I'm just saying like.
I understand that, but that was my whole point is he is one of those people that is big, super fast, like those other people in the same profession that he was in.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying I'm trying to give him credit for something and you're making it sound like it's just a regular day for all these people.
No, it's fucking amazing.
It's impressive.
That's why he is a professional wrestler and a professional rugby player.
I'm just saying, let's not.
No, like those guys are athletes. Like what they can do, they're real athletes. And I think that's proven.
Anyway.
I did think it was very smart, the conversation that Yeremi and Ben had, talking about how the vets are going to try to swoop up Gabe into their kind of like alliance.
Would they though? I mean, I know that maybe Leroy, I could definitely see like Leroy and Gabe linking up, but like, I like the Derricks, they're not
CT and Gabe.
CT, yeah, I guess CT. Gabe would be a good one for CT to take under his wing. Yes. Honestly.
I mean, and like what Leroy said at the breakfast table, or when they're sitting at the table together, he looked at him and goes, "Want to be friends again?"
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
I'm sorry.
Leroy voted for him, right, or whatever. Well, I mean, because everybody did. It was unanimous.
No,
I mean, he's a big athletic dude, and he seems to be able to. I mean, he's had one slip up with Naya, but
yeah.
Otherwise, he hasn't had like a really flawed game from what we've seen through the edit.
It is a really good move, and it's a really good read by Yeremi. And why I really liked this moment, and I had mentioned it last week on the podcast when I was going off on my Yeremi rants, several of them. Sorry that we turned last recap into a Yeremi fan club meeting, but that's just what happened. But anyway, I had mentioned that, he seems like a very sociable type person, right? Yeah. Easy to talk to. He's not shy. He's not an introvert. So I could imagine him being good at politics, being good at the social game. But we just hadn't really seen it. He hasn't really had an opportunity to do anything socially yet. But seeing this moment, seeing him read that and understand that he needed to find a way to attack that issue, just told me that, like, not only is he good at, like, playing socially and playing politics, but he's reading the game. He's understanding what's happening. He's paying attention. And I really love that. It's just another layer, another facet to why I think that Yeremi could potentially be like the next, like all around challenger, well-rounded in every aspect. He could be the next him. He is him.
So, and I did think gave very much old school vibes in the next scene when he calls that little rookie meeting with everybody that's not on Olivia's side.
Yeah.
And fucking Anissa sneaks by.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy too, because it's like this, for me, this was a massive rookie mistake. Not having the meeting, but where you had it. And then when you knew that you were caught, the way you acted, I was like, oh, that's a rookie move. Like, I can't remember what season it was or even who it was, but I'm pretty sure Ashley was in the mix when it happened. But there was a season where there was a meeting going on, a secret meeting, and somebody from the other team had kind of done the same thing, was like walking in the hallway, and Ashley had been talking and she noticed it and like so quickly switched what she was talking about to just make it into something else. And everybody just went with it, that like they never even got caught that they were having a meeting. And so it was like that moment where like, you know, like where you just act out of like where it's so clear that you're guilty because of how you react to the situation. And I was just laughing. I was like, somebody say something. Like, why are we just sitting in awkward silence? You might as well tell her you were talking about her and all of her friends. Like,
right.
Well, in here, go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing.
Here's my thing, though, is like they're in a position where they could partner with certain veterans and take out this UK alliance if they really wanted to.
They could. And
that would be a smart move, because as you do it, as dailies go on and people get dwindled away and more rookies stay there, you're going to see the people like Yeremi and Gabe. And as we get to more strength-based dailies, the cream of the crop is going to rise up. And, you know, I just feel like it would make sense to do that. And then you can play off the UK alliance against some of the vets that you're not aligned with. And it leaves your core group.
So that actually brings me to a question, or little light bulb went off. How do we feel about, like, what are your thoughts on strategically, right, for the sake of making a move in the game to better your alliance or better your position? How do we feel about potential dailies getting thrown? Like, if people want to aim for a certain vet, if their rookie partner would throw the daily to make sure they end in last place, or vice versa, a vet throwing it to try to get rid of a rookie like Yeremi or something. Not that I think Yeremi would be one to get rid of, because, and we'll talk about this later when we get to nominations, but I think a lot of the girls are realizing that he would be one that you should probably want to keep around.
Right. I don't want to change my stance on this, because I've said it before, is I don't like people throwing challenges. I don't like them throwing the dailies, but, you know, it's part of the strategy when it comes down to it. We've seen Bananas do it. We've seen Mark Long do it.
CT on, what was that season? Remember when he sat in the middle of the thing and played rock, paper, scissors with Kyle or something? It was like War of the Worlds. Or
well, he did on Rivals too. It was just a smart gameplay when he did it, so it made up for it. Where he goes, R.I.P. Wes. He threw it.
Yeah, but it
was for a good reason.
Yeah, and it wasn't a guy's day, so he wasn't in
like politically. It saved his ass in that season.
Yes.
I think that what we saw in the next time on kind of looks like somebody's throwing something, and you know, he's got a very famous nickname.
Well, look, and he's, again, as we're talking about it, he does have a history of throwing dailies to, you know, in favor of his position or his alliance's position. Yep. So, I mean, obviously, you know, we don't know the full story, but yeah, from the next time on, it does look like that. And that's kind of what struck this question in my brain, was just you saying like, oh, you know, like vets could potentially, you know, partner with a certain rookie to try to like get them out or whatever. And it just made my brain start going like, what if we start seeing this situation where people are trying to throw dailies to ensure that a specific rookie or person gets into elimination, and then the rest of the house can then, you know what I mean? Can then send in whoever they think will beat that person and get that person out if there's like a specific person they want gone. So I don't know. I think it would be a really interesting aspect of the game. It would be interesting to see it happen. I'm not a fan of people throwing dailies, but if it's if you're doing it all the time, you're a fucking asshole. If you do it like once in the season to take a shot at it, like take a big shot, you know, then I can't really hate on it, like, you know, but I don't know. It's for me, it's just like, it's so, I don't know how to feel about it. Cause like I said, I don't like dailies being thrown, but I see the advantage to the move. So I don't know.
It's almost how well you can play it off. Are you going to like pull a Shane and just go sit on the sideline? Or are you going to act like you're actually trying and not do it like Adam?
And that's the other part is, can you sell it and still make it entertaining for us? Or are you just going to be a D-bag about it? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to move into the next part, which I really want to address something in this next portion. This is when we find out that Kara had to leave the season because her mother was sick, and she's out on the balcony talking to CT, and, you know, CT is so like,
sweet.
You know, he's talking about how she's like a little sister, and he's telling her like, hey man, you want me to go with you? Like, I'll leave with you, you know?
So not my first time.
What I want to address with this is what I'm seeing out in the challenge world. Okay. Is people talking about, oh yeah, because you've gotten in so many fights and gotten kicked out. No, that's not what he was fucking talking about, guys, because the exact quote, word for word, that CT whispers in Kara's ear, and by whispers, I mean he just says it in her ear. He says, I'll tell TJ I gotta go and pack up. It wouldn't be the first time I've done it to him. He is talking about X's 2 when he left with DM. And what I want to point out about this is that instantly when I heard this from CT, this changed that entire scene from X's 2 for me, because in the scene, CT is sent home by TJ saying that he is disqualified due to the structure of the game, right? He lost his partner. They don't have a replacement. You got to go. Sorry about your luck. But this changes that for me because it made me realize, and I've always kind of thought that CT went to production and was like, hey, you better figure it the fuck out because I'm leaving. So you better make something happen on screen, because whether you do or you don't, I'm leaving. I'm going to leave. Whatever you say, I'm out. But I've just never had confirmation that that was true and that it wasn't an actual real DQ per the game rules or whatever. Like, I just, you know what I mean? So hearing this just confirmed it for me that moment was a call made by CT. It was not a call made by production back on Nexus 2. Yeah. And seeing that he would be willing to do that for Kara just melted my heart. Like, I literally teared up a little bit. I love their relationship so much, their friendship so much. And even though like there have been times I haven't liked Kara, and honestly, even as like a massive CT fan, there are times I haven't liked who CT was or how he was behaving, you know? But just seeing this moment, it was almost just like one of those full circle moments for both of them as characters and their friendship. And it was just beautiful. And I just hate that so many fans out there are like tainting, quote unquote, this moment by talking about CT's fights and getting sent home because he picks on people and he hates gay people. Shut the fuck up. Like, I literally, if you're out here saying that stuff, I literally hate you all. Like, it's so untrue.
Bless your heart.
Yes, bless your heart, sweetie, because what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to clear that up because to me, it was very clear that he was referring to when he left on Nexus 2 for DM. And like 3/4 of the fan base took it as him referring to constantly getting kicked off for fighting. I just don't know. I don't understand. I don't even understand how that connection was made, but whatever.
Yeah.
Ding.
Anyway, so from this, the next scene we get is obviously Leo talking about losing his partner, wondering what's going to happen. Because typically in partner seasons, similar to this, we do see that partner gets eliminated. I think if
there's not a backup.
Yeah, I think the saving grace on this is they're rotating partners all the time, so it's not like it's set in stone.
Yeah.
So when we go out to the daily, we do get an announcement, and TJ says, "Hey, we're going to bring out an all-star for you."
Really quick though, I do have a quick question before we jump into Jonna. So kind of going to what you just said, I can't remember exactly who it was, maybe Michaela or somebody. They had a confessional right before TJ said, so we've brought an all-star for you. And she was like, or maybe it was Tay, I don't know. But she was like, you know, there's a really big possibility that they're going to send Leo home. And I was sitting there thinking, wouldn't they just make him a hangnail though? Like, I know that kind of messes a little bit with the structure, but it really doesn't. It would almost be just like repeating last week again this week. Like so I don't know. I'm curious. Do you guys think that if they didn't have a backup, that Leo would have been sent home, or do you think he would have been made a hangnail? Because I feel like he would have been made a hangnail.
I feel like he would have been made a hangnail as well.
Because of the alternating teams every week.
Just because
in my opinion, I still don't like the way they handled Nia. I wish they would have taken her out in the daily and replaced her just like they did with Kara.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion.
That was lame. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So anyways, TJ announces Jonna, and everyone seems pretty excited, especially Derrick. You know, that's his going back all the way to the real world. They were roommates on there.
Michaela was not excited.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I don't get it.
No clue.
Like they've only done like one episode or like 2 weeks together.
Yeah, because they were on USA 2 or USA 1, whatever one it was.
Yeah.
USA 2, because that was the one that had MTV people on it. And Jonna got eliminated by Tori in the second episode. So they literally were in but I also don't remember, like, did they get in an argument? And I know like none of us here know, but if you're listening right now and you remember that, let us know down in the comments, because I really am trying to piece this out, because this isn't the first time in this episode. It's not the first or only time in this episode that Michaela like shades Jonna in a really weird way. And she's not necessarily being like a bitch or anything about it. She's just kind of shading her. And I'm just like, why are you being so petty? Like, what happened? Yeah, like
some people
slow clap for Jonna, and like later we'll get into it later, but
I low-key think they're just oil and water.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, maybe? Their personalities just don't mix the way they should. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's certain people you just don't get along with, but I did notice that.
Yeah, it was just kind of, I was like trying to think back. I was like, did Jonna try to get like Michaela thrown in that week there or something? Like, I don't know. It's just, it's so weird. Like, I want to know what happened.
So the name of this daily is called Dirtballer. But before we see it, they give us the preview of the movie Him. And I think it's done by Jordan Poole, if I'm remembering correctly.
Peel.
Okay. Hey, look, not bad for as much as I fuck up names. But it actually looked pretty good. It was an interesting concept. And then so off top, you know, we're getting some type of football-based daily. Mm-hmm. And what they have is they have 3 different posts that are buried 5 feet in the ground that they have to dig up, then carry these 3 posts and a football all the way across this field, then bury these posts, make a field goal post, and kick the football through. That seems really fucking intense for a daily.
Honestly, it sounds easy.
It sounds easy,
it's
but
not.
It's a lot of fucking work. Like, you're all of a sudden slowly edging the idea of becoming a general contractor at that point.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
the time that it took from beginning to the time that people ended, it was almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a while to, I mean, I get it. Like, especially if that ground isn't soft.
Oh, like, it's not. You could tell. You could definitely tell. But what was funny to me is you pointed this out when we were watching the episode, is number 1, what a fucking daily for Jonna to come into. And number 2, why did they make her run a mile to get to the fucking like, why was she so far away at the end of the freaking cornfields and everything? Like, she had to run hella far to get up to the stage, and then you guys make her do this daily right out the gate. Like, damn,
it was
poor girl. Like,
unless that was a really bubbled like lens,
it looked far.
She ran a good half mile to get there. It's like, you couldn't drop me off closer.
Like, where's the little ATV that TJ rides around?
Yeah.
you know
like, it's there.
It's there somewhere. TJ ain't walking that fucking mile. No way.
I can't get a fucking bicycle. What the fuck, guys? Anyways.
Oh my gosh.
Look, CT fucking showed that he's done some fucking, blue collar work in his life at some point.
Yeah, look, that was hot. It was hot. It was so hot. That's all I have to say about that moment is it was like,
okay.
What?
Speaking of, I'm jumping ahead here a little bit, but what's up with Ashley? Speaking of hot.
Oh my God. Deja vu.
Right? Takes us right back to washing clothes or whatever the heck that daily was called.
Dirty laundry.
Laundry.
Apparently, Ashley likes poles that go up and down, and vertical and horizontal poles. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be horizontal to get her going, man. She just needs a pole. That's it. And she's ready to go.
Ready to go.
There you go, gentlemen. There's your tip.
Down to get dirty or down to get clean?
Look, that soap one still fucking kind of gives me the, just...
Why are you moaning?
Come on, baby. Yeah, show Jenny what's up.
I'm sure none of those girls and guys were comfortable for about 2 weeks after that.
Oh my God. Remember her face?
Yeah. Like everybody's face was like, what the fuck? And then Corey's like, I've heard that before.
I've heard those noises before.
Or no, that was Jamie.
That was Jamie.
That wasn't Corey. Yeah, that was Jamie.
No, Corey was on the bar with Ashley.
That's right.
They were rivals.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking hilarious.
Anyway, back to this one. But Ashley screaming at Yeremi, trying to tell him how to use a shovel, and then he does what she says and he breaks the shovel. It's like, what?
Look, I really love Ashley, and on a puzzle, I would listen to her, but as soon as it came to manual labor, I'd be like, Ashley, I love you, girl. Shut the fuck up. Literally. I know how to shovel.
How to shovel.
Watch Tarzan.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let me work, dude.
Supervise.
Yeah, you just...
Be a supervisor. You just sit there and tell me whatever you want. Just let me do my thing. All right. Yeah. It'll get done. Were you guys surprised on any teams in particular on how well they did?
Honestly, I wasn't particularly surprised by how well anyone did, just because I think it was so hard to predict who would do well, who's going to do well at kicking a football, or kicking a field goal. But I will say one of the things, and it's something so small and so minute that I don't think a lot of people even really picked up on it. But for me, it was like a massive point on this person was Jake. And obviously he and Michaela ended up winning. But after they had gotten their poles down to the other end and they were starting to rebury the poles, he had a confessional, and this guy had his strategy down so far, had it so tightened in that he knew exactly, he had strategy for how he was going to move the dirt into the pole to expel the least amount of energy possible. So he had strategy down to which layer of dirt do I move first, the top layer or the, you know what I mean? How he was going to get and for me, like I said, I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but that was impressive to me because that just shows me that he is thinking about this from beginning to end. He's not just, thinking about just this short little window of, get pull, move pull, bury pull, kick ball through pull. He's actually thinking everything out. And what could I do to give me an advantage in this moment? And even something as small as how you're going to put the dirt back into the hole could make a difference. And it did. They fucking kicked ass. So I just want to give major shout outs to Jake. We haven't really gotten to see a lot from him this season, just, because there's just been so many standout people. But what, did I say the wrong name?
No, I instantly thought about when we watched it. Isn't that CT? Kept thinking Jake was
that's
CT.
Right. Yeah. We watched it with our 12-year-old son. He's into the challenge, and this was actually the first episode this season he's watched with us. But yeah, every time Jake was on TV, he was like, is that CT? I'm like, no, it literally says Jake in the corner, bro. What do you do all day at school? Sit in a field and stare at the fucking sky? What do you mean?
Are dinosaurs real?
Yeah, he asked
I don't have to read when I get home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought the main part on this, and the part we're going to spend the most time on, is Olivia and Ben.
Yeah.
Because they finished building this in time to, be in 7th place. Mm-hmm. But, and I want to talk about this the way we see it.
Talk about the way we see it, and then we can talk about what we learned. So
what we see as viewers is Ben lines up and misses 18 in a row. And it's like, God damn, Olivia, laces out. Fuck. Also, Ben, kick it from the fucking bottom, not the top of the football.
He's kicking it like in the middle or the upper top. Like, no wonder it's literally just going flink. Like,
not only did he have to kick it so many times, he had to go chase the ball himself each and every single time.
I know. Olivia wouldn't even go get the ball for him.
She's like, hurry up, go get it.
She's like, you're fine. Just take your time. I was like, what?
Then everybody's like, trying to cheer him on and just like give him anything they could.
Yeah.
Give it everything you got. Everything you got.
Oh,
anyway,
my God.
So he misses 18 motherfucking times in a row. And then Olivia comes up, lines up looking like Adam fucking Vinatieri, and takes a couple steps back, 2 steps to the side, fucking lines up, and her form, gorgeous, looking like a fucking
pro
Janikowski out there with the Raiders, a la 2006, and boots that motherfucker straight through. Jerry Jones calls and says, sign her now. And then we find out that is not exactly how it went.
That's not true. And this, for me, again, and there's another moment in here we'll talk about later in the episode, but this for me is a beautiful, perfect example of just how powerful editing can be, because not one of us fucking knew until the podcast episodes with the actual people that were there started coming out, and we started learning that no, Olivia took numerous shots. There were shots taken like Ben would take a few and then Olivia would take a, you know what I mean? And they were both just absolutely bombing it. But it was edited to make it look like Ben absolutely screwed the pooch and Olivia came out as like the hero of the day, right? Which props to her for getting it in. Like, I'm not taking anything away from Olivia. She is a badass. And I literally was sitting here while we were watching it. I was screaming at my TV. I was like, Olivia, you're from Alaska. I know that doesn't mean you play football or anything, but I'm just saying, like, you constantly talk about how you're this outdoorsy girl and you grew up playing sports with the guys and, fishing and camping and hunting and all these things. You can't kick a fucking football. Try to kick the fucking ball.
You know for a fact that woman has kicked a football at some point in her life. Yeah. It's every girl in America at one point in her life has kicked a fucking football.
Literally, I could fucking kick that field goal myself. Like, you can do it, Olivia.
Now, with that being said, I'm not upset that they edited this. I think it played out very well for television. And look, I understand, going back to what we were saying earlier, like, not every episode could be a banger, right? Sometimes you need a slow one. Going into this, not everybody's going to make that kick on their first time like it's edited to show. And everybody's going to miss the first 5 to 6 kicks until they get it somewhat figured out on how they need to kick that ball.
Right.
And it's completely normal. So, like, Olivia needing 5 or 6 shots to make that is fucking really good.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to, again, point out, editing. There were 13 teams that, played this daily. And at one point, Olivia has a confessional when her and Ben are, when Ben's sitting there trying to kick the ball. And by now, it's down to her and Ben and then the 2 Derricks, right? So everybody else is finished. And Olivia, in her confessional, she says, there's been 4 teams who have kicked this and gotten it on the first try. But in the edit, when you're watching the episode, it looks like almost every team gets it on the first try.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not. Majority of the teams. So that's 9? Because 4 out of 13. So 9 of the teams had to take multiple shots. So, I'm definitely not. But I think what upsets me about the edit is it made Ben look worse than he was, right? Like,
yeah,
it made it really, really just
it demoralized him.
Yeah, it drove in the fact that Ben sucks and here comes the girl to save the day. And it was just kind of like, that wasn't accurate. But Ben doesn't seem upset about, the edit. He's a pretty humble guy. He's got a lot of humility. And we see that at the end of the episode, which we'll talk about. But I really honestly, this whole episode, even though he ended up going home, actually made me like Ben more. So.
Yeah. Look, I think he should have wore his sleeveless turtleneck. He might have felt a little bit more comfortable.
He might have made that kick.
And it might have helped.
Yeah. He might have made that kick.
All jokes aside, look, it seems really easy to kick a field goal from 45 feet away. It is not easy to do.
No.
And if you really want to try, go out to your local fucking high school football field and try it.
Yes. And honestly, the only reason that I say that I could do it is I literally grew up playing soccer. So I know how to kick a ball and I know how to keep it on the ground or get it up. And I know it's not the same as football.
I'm sorry, you threw it up there.
I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Anyway. I don't want to talk.
Anyway, so it boils down to the two Derricks, Derrick and D, and Derrick and Izzy.
Yep.
And Derrick and D get finished, and they're ready to kick, and then they realize we didn't bring the fucking football, and so they have to run.
Walk past it. How do you run right past it?
I would have thrown. As soon as they were start digging, I would have fucking chucked that motherfucker.
Chucking it, and then run and grab it and chuck it the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it was very interesting though. I really enjoyed this part because even though Derrick and D had to run all the way back for their ball, by the time they got back, Derrick, Kay, and Izzy had just gotten their field goal thing actually formed, and they were just setting up to kick the ball. So both Derricks literally kicked the ball simultaneously, like the balls went up at the same exact time, which was a really cool shot. And obviously Derrick Chavez's went off to the side and Derrick K's went right through, which would have made the fifth team for the whole daily that made their shot in one kick. So shout out to those 5 teams. Yeah, Derrick and Izzy pulling it through at the end. But yeah, Derrick Chavez loses. They're the losers. They're going straight to elimination. But here is my question. And maybe this is just a portion that just wasn't shown to us, but I don't like that it wasn't shown or explained in any way. How did TJ determine that today would be a guy's day?
Yeah, exactly. It's not announced at all.
Where's the coin toss? I want to see it. I know it sounds like as an editor and you're looking through this and you're trying to pick which scenes are important to put in the show. Stop leaving out the fucking coin tosses. Those are important to us. Because those tell us that you're not doing stupid, shady shit behind the camera. You know what I mean? And just picking, I want it to be a guy's day. We don't want Dee to be in trouble because she's brought tons of Survivor fans over this season. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And
show us the damn coin tosses for who's going to elimination, please.
And it's same thing with the timers. You don't need to show us the timer during the event. Show us the times at the end. That's what we want to see. We want to see how big of a difference was it between first and second and first and last.
Right. Well, and even it was last week when they had the maze one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't get any final times or any final placements other than first place. And then second place you could deduce based on, who won first. But then third, fourth, fifth, who got those points? We have no fucking clue because they didn't tell us. And I really like when the show is transparent with that stuff. Yeah. And when they're not, then I'm like, why are you, I got my magnifying glass out. Why are you being shady? So. Well,
this week they were transparent. So we get Derrick and Izzy in 12th. Obviously, Derrick Chavez and D come in last place. 11th was Tay and Theo. 10th, Jonna and Leo. 9th was Nani and Justin. 8th was Ashley and Yeremi. Then we had CT and Sydney, America and Leroy, Anissa and Cedric, Lekka and Gabe, Aviv and Will, Adrian and Turbo. Fuck, Adrian's turning it on right now.
Dude, she's killing it.
Turning it on. She's had a good run of vet partners too.
She has, but I will 100% say, but she's been very complimentary to them too. It's not like they've been doing all of the work.
It's a two-way street for sure.
Yeah. So I will be the first to admit I highly underestimated Adrienne. I definitely thought, oh, Love is Blind. She's going to come in here trying to just meet guys and hang out and lay around in her bikini all day. She's playing the game. So, I definitely underestimated her, and I am watching her. I'm really liking her.
I'm glad her foot's healed.
Yeah, same. Glad she doesn't have to partner with Rogan anymore.
Yeah.
And then for 2 weeks in a row, Michaela wins the fucking daily, this time with rookie Jake. So she takes Ben to the daily fucking promised land and then Jake to the promised land of the dailies.
So does that mean Jake's going home next? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, massive shout out to Michaela. She's killing it. I'm curious because Michaela is a super controversial person on the challenge. I think partly just because she comes from Survivor.
It's her history on Survivor and what she's done and what's happened to her. And let's be honest, Jay got there first, and I'm sure Jay talked about it.
Right. So let's say potentially Michaela kind of moves into this like Cara Tori kind of position where she's like the one to watch, the one like the girl to beat.
The next big one.
Right.
Yeah.
How would you guys feel about that? Because again, I know that Michaela is so controversial in the fan base that I'm curious, like, I don't necessarily want to say the face, but just like the tough girl, the one that the Jenny, the Cara, the Tori, right? How would you guys feel about that?
Well, I've had my doubts about Michaela in the past because I was biased because I'm a huge Corey fan. But Michaela, I became a Michaela fan this week. I am 100% behind her confessionals, the way that she talks, the way that she's strategizing to herself. And it's just, she sees the game. And for her to be, what's this, her third season? But I mean, it's like episode wise, not so many, but
it's 2 seasons episode wise.
Yeah.
Oh, but still, she is just a badass when it comes to the game. You cannot overlook her anymore in any way, shape, or form. She is a player.
So here's my thing on Michaela is I think her only downfall in her gameplay is she likes to go a little hard in the paint pretty early in the game. Outside of that, I like Michaela. I liked her on Survivor. I was upset when she went home first. I thought it was funny that she had the notebook, very Laurel-esque. I liked her in USA too. I liked the alliance she was partnered up with as far as Desi and Tiffany Mitchell and Michelle. I like that whole setup.
Yes.
I'm enjoying her thus far. I mean, like, I've questioned what her motives are for trying to get rid of vets when it's now shown that you can be partnered with vets.
But I don't know if they knew that before, because that was a question we all had.
But at the point of last episode, she knows that now because you have 2 rookie partners. So you can get partnered with the same caliber. That's fair. And this episode, it didn't explicitly show that she was going after a vet, but she was pushing that line. You can see it.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing. But anyways, long story. I went on a TED Talk. I would not mind, and I would actually root for her. I like Michaela, and I think she would be a good representative for the challenge. She plays the game well.
Yeah, agreed. I honestly, I couldn't say it any better. So,
with that being said, we get our club scene. And in the club scene, we get Michaela and Jake talking about who they're going to save. And she says she's fine with whatever Jake wants to do, which in this situation, I think is the smartest move. It's a guy's day. Just let him do his thing.
Yeah, literally none of your friends are in danger, right? Nobody that you're working with is in danger of being selected by the jury. Why stir the pot? You don't get to choose who gets to go in. This isn't really a power play, and you don't really have an opportunity to have a lot of power this week, you know. I feel like this aspect of winning and then getting to save somebody is going to be more beneficial later in the season when there's smaller. Like when the cast is very small, right? Because then that's when it's going to really feel like power. But right now, when there's 13 fucking teams, it's whatever you want to do. It's a guy's day. You save who you want to stay in this house. You know?
Think about the goodwill she's bringing forth as far as people wanting to work with her.
Yeah.
Now they've seen, hey, she'll win dailies with you. She's experienced. She's going to help you. And Will's going to come back and say, she worked with me 100%. Or I'm sorry, Jake's going to come back and say, she worked with me 100%. Like, she let me save who I wanted to save, and she was cool with it.
Yeah.
Now, was she really cool with it? Probably not, but she let it play out the way it was going to play out.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was going to move on.
Yeah.
I was going to say the Yeremi and Gabe discussion at the club was actually really, really intriguing for me. I loved how Yeremi kind of approached this, and it wasn't even like hey, let's have a talk about the game, right? It felt more like a very natural conversation that they were just kind of having, and Gabe was just kind of trying to feel out like Yeremi was trying to feel out like where Gabe stands. And I really liked the way that Yeremi presented his case to him, and was just like, it wasn't necessarily, hey, you need to work with me. It was, hey, we got to figure this out, because if we're going to all work together, we have to come together now. Like, we don't have time to, be playing these games and trying to decide and trying to, we can't be doing all that. Like, we have to decide now. We have to make a move now and hold this momentum, or they're going to fucking eat us apart. They're going to eat us up. And so I just really loved the way that Yeremi approached this. Now, I'd love to talk about whether or not we think that Gabe is going to side with Yeremi or side with the vets, but I think that the nomination ceremony made that perfectly clear which side that Gabe is leaning towards. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, do you guys think that Gabe is making the right decision here?
It's just the way the game's set up right now. It's vets versus new threats. That's the name of the show. So if you're going to team with the vets, you're going to be the low man on the totem pole, and you better know that going in. If you stay with the new threats, they've seen what you can do in elimination. They're not going to be one to throw you in because they know you're going to come back.
Right.
So I would try to stay with the rookies, the threats, and then do what you can do. And try to bond better.
I think I like this conversation that Yeremi and Gabe had.
Yeah, me too.
I like Gabe's responses too.
Yes,
because it very well. It to me, it showed that he understands how this game's going, where the lines are drawn, and where he sits on both of that. Basically, saying when he goes, if I go with the vets, I'm the bottom of the line. If I go with you guys, I'm the bottom of the line. So what does it matter? And that's true.
Right.
Be the free agent. Be that deciding vote. Cause chaos. And at the end of the day, they're going to throw you in regardless because you're at the bottom.
Right.
So you might as well cause waves and make that impact.
Yeah. No, I agree. And honestly, like for me, I don't really care which side Gabe plays on.
Yeah.
I think either side that he plays on will make it interesting. But that's a really good point. Just kind of staying as the free agent. Just kind of, I don't want to necessarily say riding the middle because I don't necessarily think that that's how, at least that's not how it's coming off to me. No. It's coming off as just, I'm on my own, man. I'm not with anybody and I'll vote where I want to vote. You know, I'm not promising anybody anything. I don't know. Like I could see either way, and I could see like either situation benefiting him. Like he could benefit from working with the rookies and he could benefit from working with the vets. They're just going to be different types of benefits, right?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's not committing. It's saying, look, I'm loyal to this guy I'm loyal with, which is Ben. So I'm not going to say his name. And even though you just talked to me about this, like, what side am I on, Yeremi? This is the first real game talk we've had. So why am I going to try to save you over my guy that's been with me since day one?
Yeah.
You know, it's just a common sense move. And then you fall back on that. Like, oh, you're voting me out because I'm loyal?
Right.
Like, that's what you would want.
Yeah. Because I stuck to my word. Like, I'm sorry that went. And the thing is it didn't even necessarily go against Yeremi, you know, we'll get into all that. But the other conversation I really freaking loved.
Oh my God, this was so good.
This might be my favorite club conversation this season and out of other seasons as well. But Derrick Chavez and Ashley have a conversation where Derrick tells Ashley straight up, hey, look, I want to go against either Yeremi or Will, which first of all, shout out to Derrick, man. He came this season not giving a fuck. And the way he worded it is he said, look, the way I see it is I either beat someone amazing or I lose to someone amazing. And that's a win-win for me. So, which it is. Like, you don't lose in that situation. So,
look, I get the bravado of saying that, but if he would have gotten either of those guys, no offense to Derrick.
Yeah, well, did you see his confessional at the end of the elimination? He was like, "Thank God I didn't get Yeremi or Will.
Yeah,
thank God I didn't get my way." Yeah. I think Derrick assumed it would be a
endurance /
something
puzzle.
Because last week was so physical. But anyway, so he tells her this. She is pissed, right? She is not comfortable with this because if they send Yeremi in and he loses, then she's now potentially at risk of becoming the hangnail, and she's pissed, and she's telling him this, and he's just like, and she goes, but you don't care, do you? And he's like, no. That was like
the candor with her is so great.
Fucking queen, Derrick. Put that crown on because that was a slay. And I don't even say that fucking word, but that was a slay. Okay? It was amazing. I loved this conversation. I love the energy and just, I guess, bravado is a really great word that Derrick is bringing, especially this season. But the last couple of seasons, like, he's just gained so much confidence, and I love it. I love it. I love seeing this side of Derrick.
His star is getting brighter.
It just proves that bringing him back was the right move.
Yeah.
And everything we see from Derrick, including the elimination performance he's in, is just phenomenal. And look, two things, because you have it in the notes, and I think it's interesting, is one, Yeremi, anytime they talk about, they say the Janes and Tarzan, they don't actually put Tarzan. They put Janes in
the graphic that they put on screen. If you notice, when the people are talking about it, like Lekka, Yeremi, whatever, they call it the Janes and a Tarzan. But the graphic that the challenge is made says the Janes and a Jungle Man.
They don't want to fuck with that copyright.
They ain't trying to go to war with Disney. So they won't put Tarzan on the thing. It's copyright. So if anybody is wondering why that's happening, that's why that's happening. They literally can't. They don't want to go to war with that fucking. That would be insane, right? Nobody wants to mess with Disney. Nobody wants that smoke. So I don't blame them, but it is really funny every time it happens.
All right. So
I really want to talk about this last part really quick. This was something I actually did not catch, but was sent in by a listener of ours, is that after Derrick made it clear that he either wanted to go against Yeremi or Will or whatever, one of those two, Yeremi had a confessional where he talks about how, he's like, oh, like, I'm big, whatever. And he's like, but I'm actually kind of nervous. Like, I don't really want to go against Derrick. Like, he's a bad, and he's just like hyping Derrick up and talking about how he's kind of nervous. He would be nervous to go against Derrick. And I loved this, to see such a high level competitor like Yeremi talk about Derrick and give him the kudos and the stars and the flowers and the hype that he deserves was awesome, because Derrick is so often underrated, right? And, it's always like, oh, just send the gay guy in. Like, that's how it always was with Derrick in his early season. Send the small gay guy in. He can't do anything. Who cares? Whatever. And that storyline is changing for Derrick. And it's so awesome to see. And it's awesome to see, like I said, high level competitors acknowledge that. We saw it last season with Jordan, where he totally freaking
bananas too.
Yeah. Talked Derrick up about how great he is and how he's actually like a really great competitor and somebody to be nervous about. So I just really loved seeing this from Yeremi. And for me, it also showed a bit of humility for Yeremi, right? Like, he knows he's one of the top people there, but for him to be able to say, oof, like, I don't know if I want that smoke, shows that he doesn't he's not bananas, right? He doesn't think that he's just the best thing to ever be placed on the challenge and he could beat anyone at anything, anytime. I just love seeing that humility. So,
well, he understands that even on your best day, someone can always be better. Yeah. And that's the thing, is he does have that humility. He, unlike Bananas, does not think he's the challenge. He's not that level of hubris slut.
Yeah, he's got the whole mindset like the theme with him any given Sunday.
Yeah. But with that being said, Derrick is no fucking joke. Yeah. And he is, in my opinion, the most slept on challenger out there right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, based on his perception and reality on how good he fucking is, he is the most slept on challenger.
I agree. I agree 100%. And honestly, what I've come to notice, and I think this elimination really showed me, like really showcased it, is Derrick is a lot bigger than I thought he was. And not like tall wise and just built. He's a lot bigger than I thought, way bigger than he used to be. Like he used to, his older seasons, he was a lot smaller, but he's putting in some fucking work. And also shout out to Jonna, because she looks good this season. Damn, girl.
All right. So after all of that, we get into the house deliberations, and we get Ashley talking to CT and Theo about how worried she is. And Olivia overhears her. God, I can't even talk right now. Words are hard. Olivia overhears her yelling about how she's feeling. And so she goes down to Theo and goes, "Who cares if I was a hangnail?" Basically kind of saying like, "Fuck it, put me in. I don't give a fuck." But yeah, not quite.
Yeah, at least that's how it was sold and how it was taken.
Yeah.
Look, first thing that I want to say about this is, again, this is another perfect example of just how powerful editing can be and just how easy it is to manipulate something. So if I just want people to pay attention to, number one, the location of where Ashley was sitting talking to Theo and CT and crying, whatever. And then the location where Olivia was sitting with like 7 or 8 people. They're framing it and putting it together as if it happens at the same time, like back to back. That's not true. And the proof that I have for this is not just my own knowledge in editing and noticing little things like this, but later in the episode, Olivia is talking to CT and telling him what happened. But he was sitting out there, wasn't he? So why? Because he's like, well, I didn't know any of this. So these moments, clearly there was a large gap in between these, long enough for CT to get up and leave and have no idea that Olivia came down and said this. So in saying that, I just want everyone to acknowledge that there is a very high, like 99.9999999% chance that we are missing a huge chunk of this conversation. I feel like, for me, when I'm looking at this from a logical, like realistic standpoint of how this conversation could potentially go, and again, I just want to say this is just my prediction, my read on the moment, and based on what Olivia said later and what everybody else was saying.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they were having a conversation where they're like, oh, Ashley's worried. She's scared to be a hangnail. And Olivia's like, who cares? Like, if I was the hangnail and they wanted to put someone against me, like, I honestly couldn't give a fuck. I don't know. Like, I feel like they're trying to sell it like Olivia went down there and was like, I don't care if you put me in. But I feel like she said it just kind of freely in a conversation. Like, if they did this, it wouldn't bother me. And everybody took that and ran with it, which is their right to do. She shouldn't have said that. Like, that's stupid to say. But I don't think it was necessarily her walking down there saying, I wouldn't care. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
I see what you're saying, except for at the very end where she says, I never should have said that.
Yeah. She knew. She realized as soon as people started running with it.
And that's my thing. I'm sorry. What's rule number 1?
Yeah.
Never
don't volunteer yourself.
And never say dumb. That you don't care.
Yeah.
I absolutely care. Absolutely. You might as well say I'm volunteering to give my money away when I win.
100%. And that's what I'm saying. Like, was it a smart move? No. It was not smart. I think Olivia was definitely feeling herself. I don't know if she was drinking or what, but just confidence wise, I think she was feeling herself. And she was like, fuck it, just kind of talking shit. And it got taken very seriously because you're not just sitting there with just your friends. Like there's other people there who aren't necessarily working with you. So to say something like that so openly and freely, whether it was a legitimate volunteer or just a throwaway comment that she made, you're giving people permission to now say your name. And in return, as Ben pointed out, you're fucking him because it's a guy's day. Like it's not even a girl's day that you're volunteering for.
Exactly.
It's a guy's day.
That's the biggest thing is she fucked Ben in this. Nobody else. She made a stupid fucking mistake, a rookie mistake. I'm sorry, you don't volunteer to go in or say you don't care about going in. And then on top of that, not be a girl's day.
Yeah.
You basically said, throw my partner in. I don't care.
Throw Ben in. I don't care. And I'll be a hangnail, and it's just not smart. Not smart at all.
And look, as soon as that starts going around, the vets are going to play off that no matter what. I mean, even if Anissa doesn't vote for you, every other vet's going to vote for you. And that's what ends up happening pretty much.
Right. Well, and we get a really interesting scene between Nany, Ashley, and Anissa. And I believe Aviv is also in the room. Yes. And they're talking about who they're going to vote, And Anissa specifically said, like, they're all talking about how they need to protect each other. But we get a confessional from Ashley where she's like, Anissa is not to be trusted. She always says she's playing for herself, but she never plays for herself. She always plays for her friends. So, but in this moment, Anissa is pretty much like signing on to vote with the veteran girls. Now, we know that when it comes down to it, that's not the way that she ends up, actually putting her vote. So I'm curious, what do you guys think about this move by Anissa? Like, my concern is, what are you why wouldn't you just say, look, guys, Olivia is my real life friend. I'm not going to vote for her.
I don't know why she doesn't say that. I think it's ironic, the fact that they're like, oh, she's a selfish player. She only does this, blah, blah, blah. But she does it for her friends. Well, that's the opposite of being selfish. You're doing it for someone else.
Very true.
So that's my first thing against it. And look, it's very on brand for Anissa. It's very on brand for how she's played the game for the last 5 seasons or so.
Right. Since
her and Tori have really formed that friendship, which is, I will take one for my friends as long as they get along further.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think I don't blame Anissa for her choice. But I just wonder what keeps her from just saying, look, I'm not going to vote for Olivia. Like, I'll vote for anybody else you guys want, but I'm not going to vote for Olivia.
I think she might have been waiting to see how the vote was going to play out. So see if she had to put herself on Front Street with her friendship with Olivia.
Yeah. And I guess, but don't people isn't that just knowledge? Like, even as fans, we know Olivia and Anissa are friends in real life.
I didn't understand that they were like that tight. I didn't know that jumped years of her being friends, or I guess they were just pseudo friends with Nany.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my thing is, like, from what I remember, the whole drama because of with Nany and Olivia, other than Olivia throwing her in, but that phone call that phone call that Nerys got from her family saying, hey, Olivia's talking shit, was Anissa telling Nerys's family that.
Right.
So, like, I don't understand how we got to this point, but we're at this point.
Yeah.
So let's just roll with the punches, I guess.
It just is what it is, I suppose. Yeah. But I just found the whole situation just very interesting.
It was.
I just, like I said, this whole episode is just so, like, it's very politic heavy. And we haven't gotten a lot of politics this season yet. So I'm enjoying it.
I did like the nominations and how it played out, because we get close to this every season, but when we actually get a real tie, it's fun to watch.
It is really fun to watch. But we got
twice.
Yeah. And surprisingly, not someone extra just thrown in. Like, TJ just narrowed the vote down.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we still got another fucking tie.
Yeah.
So Michaela and Jake end up saving Leo and Jonna, which Olivia gets all butthurt about this because nobody calls them out for, like saving someone who doesn't need to be saved or whatever. But when she did it to Izzy, she got called out. And I was just like, yeah, but you got called out by bananas. Like,
yeah.
He's not here.
Yeah, you already got rid of that threat.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're just going to run through this really quick. The first round votes obviously end in a tie with Yeremi and Ashley and Ben and Olivia each having 5. We did have 2 burn votes. Gabe and Lekka voted for themselves. And then
rule number 1.
Stupid. And here, I will actually give Sydney some points here. As soon as Gabe and Lekka self-nominate or vote for themselves, Sydney has a confessional where she's like, a burn vote on yourself is still a vote for Yeremi. It's still a vote for Ben. It's still a vote for whoever you're trying to not vote for. It's a vote for that person. So I will give her props on that, because I was saying the same thing. I was like, I just don't understand burn votes, especially at the beginning of the line.
That's Leroy.
That's the best burn vote, in my opinion, is when they do it early in the line. Everybody's like, you know what? It's not a burn vote no more.
Yeah. And then Anissa and Cedric burn vote on Justin and Nany. I do also want to give Aviv some major props really quick, because she had a confessional after she voted, saying that she did not think that it would be a good idea to vote for Yeremi and Ashley because she doesn't want Yeremi to go home. She's like, I don't even want there to be a possibility for him to go into elimination and go home, because he would be somebody great for me to work with. So I love the way that Aviv is kind of thinking about, who she's going to vote for in this sense of who would I want to be partnered with?
Long term.
Yeah,
future
exactly.
gameplay.
She's thinking long term. And I really, really love that. And then we get this beautifully funny scene.
Oh, it's so good.
Where
so good.
Theo throws out, does a full fucking call out and says that there's people who have done 10 plus seasons and have never won because they're afraid to play the game.
Yeah.
And Nany instantly flips into Noodle Nany. If she had a cup of noodles in her hand,
it was on.
It would have been in Theo's face for sure. She said, excuse me? But Theo doubles down on this, and he's like, Nany's like, who are you talking about? Can you specify? And he's like, I'm talking about anyone who's done 10 or more seasons and hasn't won. And she's like, dude, just be quiet, because you died on the first mountain. Let's not forget that. And,
they are getting his ass.
I also want to point out, just a light little reminder here that, Theo, you're already halfway there, buddy. Unless you win this season, you're halfway there. You're 5 seasons in with no wins. So let's just fucking calm it down a little bit. There's some things, you can talk shit about, but then there's other things where you're kind of falling into that same category, buddy.
His second place early on really hit him high.
It really did. It's carried his ego there.
And here's my thing is I know these people want to make moves right now, but we're still early in the game.
This is episode 5.
Yeah, we're 25% through the game. There's still 75% more to go.
Yeah. I literally feel like we're at the halfway mark or later, the way everybody's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not.
No.
So we go into the second round. TJ is like, y'all know I don't like ties. Says you can only vote for the 2 teams who had the most votes, which was Ashley and Yeremi and, Ben and Olivia. Everybody votes for the same person. Except for Gabe and Lekka and Anissa and Cedric. They had to change their votes. Gabe and Lekka end up voting for Ben and Olivia. And Anissa and Cedric end up voting for Yeremi and Ashley. Is that right? Yeah.
Which makes it a tie.
Yeah. Okay.
Which makes it a tie.
Yes, which makes it a tie yet again at 6-6.
So good.
Ashley's confessional.
So good. So fucking good. Why she's Millionaire Mitchell.
Anissa flips and flops like a dead fish. Wait, what the fuck does that mean? I meant Anissa flips and flops more than a fish out of water. I was like,
oh,
I'm glad
it was gold.
Yeah, that whole thing.
I'm so glad production left that entire moment in there and didn't just give us the end of it. Like, I'm glad they left the whole her calling herself out and just all of it. I loved it. It was great. So to break this final tie, TJ does a coin flip.
That's wild.
What?
And then Ashley's response to that
What?
was gold as well.
Literally. But yeah, I'm like, I don't think I don't know if we've ever seen a coin flip to break a tie. But also, how else would they do this? You know what I mean? Like, because there's no, like, it's like, you know, if the winners, you know, are picking or whatever, and the two pairs can't decide, then they would go in. But you can't do that in this situation because there's...
Make the winners vote.
Oh, well, the winners do vote, don't they?
No, they just vote who they're
You're right, because the losers and the winners, and then if there's a hangnail, they all go up and they don't get to vote. Yeah, that would have been, honestly, that probably would have been a better way, is either let the winners or give the vote to the losers for who they want to go against, you know? Which, how interesting would that it would have been if TJ would have given the vote to Derrick and he picked Yeremi.
He would have lost.
Derrick would have been going home. Yeah, so anyway.
So instantly I feel really sad because I like Ben. I know he's not like some fucking athletic god that is going to win every challenge, but he's fucking entertaining. I've enjoyed him on every single episode, and I'm sad that he's going in.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I really enjoy Ben. And like, we didn't even get like a ton of camera time from him, but every time he was on the camera, like, I was locked in. I there's just something about him that very much intrigues me. So
did anybody else catch him on the bus scene wearing Gabe's do-rag? Because that was fucking hilarious.
I didn't even see that.
Oh, no. It was so good.
Oh, that's funny. I'm going to have to go back and look.
He looked like B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted. I fucking loved it.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, I'm going to have to go back now.
He doesn't take himself too serious, and I love it.
Yes.
Anyway, so we get into the elimination, the him collider. And is it just me, or is this the same elimination that was in Free Agents, the one that LaToya and Cara did? And the one that Brandon and Zach did?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, we've seen this before.
Yeah,
well, not with the football, but yeah, we've seen the
same general idea.
Yes.
And basically, if you haven't seen it and you're listening to our episode, it's a hall brawl in a fucking circle. That's all it is.
Hall brawl in a circle with one basket, and each person has a football. You got to get through each other and get around the circle and score in the basket. First one to do that gets the point. Best 2 out of 3. First to 2, however you want to word it.
And this first go that they have at this, I mean, it looks like it reminded me of like Olivia and Nerys and their hall brawl in season 40, where they both purposely like tried to not make contact.
Yeah.
But it shows how fucking quick Derrick is, because he beat Ben to that fucking basket by a lot.
Yeah. He's fast. Like, Derrick's got speed on him, which, you know, I didn't really know. Like, we've seen him go long distance, you know, on the All-Stars, and I think even on 40, there were some long distance ones that I was like, wow.
When he was running all over that stadium.
Yeah, in All-Stars.
All-Stars, yeah. And, you know, but speed, I'm trying to think, but I don't think I've ever just, you know, seen Derrick in a situation where he had to do that. And so it was really cool to see just how fast he is.
And look, once I saw this, I was like, okay, it's not going to be super intense. This is going to be, you know, they're going to just try to use speed to get past each other. And we get into the second round, and Derrick was like, hit stick, motherfucker.
Boom.
Yeah, and he fucking nailed Ben.
Yeah.
Like, shoulder pad right to the fucking head. It was a good shot. And then sat on him.
Yeah, and then sat on him and pushed his head into the sand.
Put his knee into his back. It was fucking brutal.
What were they saying? He was eating sand. His neck was like this.
Like this. Yeah, exactly. Crazy.
Mean, I don't know if he was concussed, but he could have been.
Yeah.
He fucking could have been. And it was like, okay, so Derrick is him.
Derrick is him. He was coming for blood. Like, he straight said, you will remember forever the night you played Derrick Chavez. Okay.
Thank you for not giving me who I wanted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good night.
Yes, thank you for not giving me my way.
I have a question. And I really want your guys' answer. Is Derrick the most underrated player in the challenge?
I think it's just so hard to say like this one person, right, for anything. But I think he's definitely like top of the list. I think he's highly underrated by not just some of the challengers, but by the fandom for sure.
I think more so by the fandom than the challengers. I think challengers understand how good he is.
And they're starting to really see it and recognize it, which I think is helping the fans realize, maybe I was wrong about Derrick C.
Yeah.
You know?
But like, I wasn't a believer till I saw him in All-Stars. What was that, 4? Where he ran across that stalker field, like you said. And it was just like, holy shit, he is quick. And then seeing him in the 40 final and what he fucking went through.
Oh,
it was intense.
Yeah.
So Derrick wins 2-0. I love the part when at the end of the elimination, when TJ asked Ben, how would you have called that? And Ben hops straight into his announcer mode. It was fucking gold. Yeah,
it talks about like Ben just got dominated. Like, I don't know, I can't do the sports announcer like type voice, but it was very cool. It showed humility in Ben. And honestly, again, just made me like him even more than I did coming into this episode. So I really like him. I would love to see Ben come back. I would love even more if, maybe he worked on like his strength or endurance or, worked on a couple little things that maybe he was struggling with a little bit this season. But even just, for the entertainment factor and just the like regular guy.
I love it.
Thing, dude. He's just a regular dude. And
he's a good vibe.
I love it.
He is. He really is. And look, here's my thing is I think we're all in agreement. It gives an OG sense of he's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
Like he's not CT athletic. He's not fucking 6-pack and pecs like Evan and all these other guys. He's just a normal fucking guy.
Yeah.
Another shout out to Derrick, though. He is the only vet to come back from elimination.
That's right.
Vet. Yep.
That's fucking right. He's a beast. I mean, so obviously they send Derrick back up there. Olivia becomes the hangnail that she wasn't worried about at all. Her face doesn't show that when she walks back up there, but they start going through and says, it's time to make new teams. There was some pretty good ones on there. Like all of them were pretty fucking fire.
Honestly, almost every team selection, I didn't write them all down, but almost every one I was like, wow, that's a good team. Wow, that's going to be a good team. That's going to be a good team. I hope we have something like watch us have some stupid ass daily next week where it's like, oh no, we saw it. It's the climbing thingy. Yeah. Okay, so I think it'll be interesting. It's going to be a water comp. Ooh, another water comp. I'm excited.
Those ladders are deceptively hard.
They're so fucking difficult.
Yeah, for reals. I would not want to do a challenge with that. It reminds me of Wipeout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No parts of that sounds fun. I liked how what you said when America had her little comment.
Yeah, I know. America was like she was getting ready to pick her partner. And she says, all right, TJ, I think I've already gone through every vet guy here. And I was like, yeah, I know. We heard.
Fucking cold as ice, Karina. Cold as fucking ice.
Go on. That was a good one. I don't get a lot of good ones.
No, it was a good one.
And no hate. Like, I'm not slush shaming. Get it, girl. Like, shit. Enjoy it. Whatever.
This kind of tripped me out was the fact that we learned that it's not necessarily, obviously doesn't have to be vet new threat pair. It just has to be someone you haven't worked with yet.
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting revelation because I was like, so they're just going to start recycling vet new threat partners that have already, been partners in the past. But no, you just have to pick somebody new. And so I think that makes it really interesting. It definitely changes how I feel about how the rest of the season might go, about how the final might go, because I was locked into, the idea of there has to be you know, if let's say we take 4 teams to the final, there's going to be, you know, X amount of vets, X amount of rookies, whatever. I can't math right now. But 4 girls and 4 guys. But that's not necessarily true. If this is the case, if this is how the rest of the season plays out, we could have teams of nothing but vets or nothing but rookies, or, you know, so it's going to make it really interesting. I think it's a nice little twist to how the partners are going to be, you know, carried out through the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to do something. I still get the feeling that they're going to play it with the same like new threat teams and vet teams. And once it gets to a point where it's even on both sides, they're going to fucking switch it over and say, all right, whoever's got the most points of people left, man and woman, who's got the most points for the male vet and the female new threat, you're a partner. And same with, you know, vice versa. Yeah. I think that's what's going to end up happening, honestly.
That's a really good point.
Because that's the only thing that really makes sense to me. Last thing I want to talk about was they get through picking the team, and Nani and Theo have to be together after what happened in nominations. And Nani goes, I know I bring a lot to the table, and Theo's going to see what it's like to be partnered with someone who's done 10 plus seasons and never won. I was like, oh, the saltiness in this is fucking perfect.
The shade. I love it.
And here's my thing is, if it wasn't a girls' day next week, which I'm pretty sure it is, I think Nani would throw it. I think she would throw it to put
if it
Theo
was
in.
A guy's day.
Yeah, if it was a guy's day.
Potentially. I mean, I wouldn't put past somebody like Nani, you know?
Yeah. And then we get the next time on where Izzy wants to save Olivia. That's her girl. CT can't climb a ladder. And then CT versus Turbo.
Yes. We get the CT Turbo fight next week. That'll be cool.
Look, all I think when I see that is like, let those two do a pole wrestle together. I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Let's do it.
All right. Before we wrap this up, let's get into your MVPs. Who you got as your most valuable players for this game?
Ooh, damn. That's tough. I'm definitely giving an MVP to Michaela. 2 dailies in a row, different partners, very different, you know, daily, types of dailies. This one was very intense. And so that was very impressive. So definitely going to give one to Michaela. And then, you know, I struggle because I want to give it to Jake because, you know, he was there doing it with Michaela. But man, Derrick killed that fucking elimination. So, you know what? All love and props to Jake, but I'm going to give my mail to Derrick C because that was good. Like I really thought Derrick would win, but I didn't know that he was going to fucking bring out that much fire. And I really appreciated it. So
he did bring the boom.
Boom.
Ditto, honorable mention to Ben, like I said, because I really like the guy. Yes. I want to see him back. Yes, so, but otherwise, same for me.
Dude, I'm just going to echo. I mean, it's pretty much on point, exactly what I was going to say. So
perfect.
Nice.
Perfect. Cool. All right. Do you want to get to some fan shout outs?
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll do a couple here that I'll just kind of read through. Most of this stuff is stuff that we did actually address through the recap. One of these, though, was something I didn't actually notice. So shout out. I'm just not good at reading people's like usernames. So you know that I absolutely freaking love you. And I'm so sorry, but KB Koliker? I don't know. Oh, right there. I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but
whatever.
I love her. I love her to death. And I just don't like saying people's real names on here because I don't, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to say her real name, but girl, you know, and I just don't know how to say your user. But she says, didn't the preview make it seem like someone got injured? Was that just misleading for Kara's exit? And I do remember last week thinking like someone else gets injured because we talked about it with Derrick and we were like, does Derrick maybe finally get injured and have to leave? And so I found that kind of interesting and I'm wondering if what was that about? So that's a really good point.
Just trying to mislead us anytime they can.
Yeah. And then from the same user, she also says right here, honestly, Olivia had it coming. She is the next big threat to the newbies after Johnny Bananas. So honestly, and that's a good point. Like Olivia shooting so hard to get Bananas, like that was her shield, right? That was a shield for her. And now who's looking like the top dog in the house, you know, the top vet in the house. So, you know, shout out to Hershey Kiss. She says, I am pissed. Production threw Ben under the bus. Olivia took more than one kick, but showed 0 fails for her. Obviously, we already addressed that. And yeah, it was pretty shitty. Shout out to, again, Brad Jones _60. We talked about this too, but why coin flip for the elimination? Let the winning duo decide or let Derrick pick, which, yeah, I think it would have added a really nice layer, you know, to this. And then the last shout out that I want to do is just because it just shows that you pay attention to us and I love you. So shout out to Sonia Gabe. She says, was Olivia planning to take out Ben by volunteering, or did she just forget the number 1 rule?
Thank you. Rule number 1.
Don't volunteer for elimination.
Rule number 732. Don't walk out on your partner in a funny jacket.
But we actually had tons of submissions. Just a lot of them were repeats or things that we really hashed on this episode. So I don't want to keep hashing on them. But thank you to everyone who wrote in. We'll probably share some of these on our stories and reply to those directly. So just make sure that if you're listening right now, that you are following us on like Instagram, TikTok, you know, all of that. We try to post some fun content. We take lots of polls. We do like these question boxes where we can kind of engage together. So just, and our DMs are open. So just make sure you're following us over there.
With that being said, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this and you haven't yet, go leave us a 5-star review and make sure you're subscribed. And if you have any questions, hit us up over on IG. With that being said, for myself, Rick Hayes, my beautiful wife, Karina Hayes, the one and only Josh motherfucking Chambers. We're out of here. Love y'all. Peace.
See ya.
Bye.
Hard eyes, motherfucker.